installment of Outside the Ring.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Your favorite podcast, hosted by three complete idiots. That's right.
We're all sleep deprived. This is gonna be a fun show.
We are very sleep deprived. We work for a living. This is not the only thing we do. So when we have to do a show at like 10 o'clock at night and crank one of these bad boys out,
Yeah.
I mean, and considering Raw has been really dull the last month, which we'll get to. Yeah, it's going to be a...
We really need to get to it. People know.
Well, it's kind of our job. You know.
You just said we don't get paid for this, though.
Well, this is a side project. Yeah, right. This is something we like to do.
Okay. We're going to try to make today's show
All right, here we
quick.
go.
Let's
Headlines.
Just jump into headlines. No headlines?
We got shameless
Screw that.
plugs. Shameless
Damn
plugs. All right.
Okay. I just want to get it over with and go
First
home
of
and
all,
sleep. Sorry.
I'm your host, Jason.
Wait!
Oh,
Murphy!
One guy and one weird chick just said Murphy. Okay, thank you. Alongside the one, the only Wes.
Funk Man.
Oh, cigarettes! Burden.
What up?
And the one, the only. The guy that has a six-pack of beer in here right now. He's half asleep when he's here. He's cracking it open. He's there. Did you hear that? It's Troy.
It's the sound of a plastic bottle with beer in it.
Shut up, man.
Shut up. You're messing up my intro for it. Go back to sleep. Stone Cold Troy Austin.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Shameless plugs.
Like I said, we're all sleep deprived.
Shameless plugs. Twitter. Follow us. Outside the Ring with the number 1. We love you. On Facebook. You can like us. Just type in Outside the Ring. Our email, Troy Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Outside the Ring 316 at gmail.com.
There you go. Same with YouTube. Outside the Ring with the number 1.
Why do we keep plugging the YouTube? We're on YouTube.
Well, I don't know. Because
I've thought about that for the past few weeks, and I
there
never
might
said
be some
anything.
drunk people out there that are listening to us, and they're like, well, maybe what did I type to get here? You know, and then they don't know what YouTube is all about. You know what I'm saying?
If you are drinking out there, have one for me.
Yeah. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Shameless plugs out of the way. It is time for headline. Let's go! All right.
One lady got really excited over that.
She works here. She's one of the janitors here where we work.
Wow.
Yeah.
We could have Dusty Rhodes get excited over it.
The magazine!
Oh, Lordy! It's not the headlines. Oh, Lordy!
Hey, Dusty Rhodes on Twitter, by the way, now. I don't know his Twitter name. Do you know his Twitter name,
I think it's
Funkman?
just Dusty Rhodes WWE.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does he talk like...
I have died like kings and queens.
And I've Twittered with pork and beans.
I forget. Somebody retweeted what he said the other day. It was ridiculous. He didn't even put the words together right.
It's Dusty Rhodes.
Does he ever put the words
I didn't
together
expect anything
right?
less. Yes.
Listen, baby, I'm on Twitter now. Stick me down, son of a bitch. Yeah.
He got a bicycle.
He's got a bicycle. All right.
That's his Twitter handle. He got a bicycle.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one of those shows. All right, so Lillian Garcia is returning to WWE.
Yep.
WWE's website has a new video with the former diva taped backstage at tonight's Raw in Tampa. She revealed that she's returning to SmackDown, not Raw, but SmackDown full-time.
That's a good move, if you ask me, because Justin Roberts really has become the voice of Raw.
I like Justin, too.
The announcing voice
Yeah.
of Raw, not the commentating voice of Raw.
So what does
Correct.
that do with Tony Chimmel then? Is he out or
I think he's going to be working backstage.
He's going to be working with the Fink.
nice?
Off TV,
Maybe he'll
probably.
go to FCW.
He'll go to
Who do
Superstars.
they have
Superstars.
announcing in FCW?
Superstars. NXT?
Superstars.
Well, they have the Fink in FCW.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't know.
I suck. I know. I mean, I wish he was back on TV.
Yeah.
He got screwed because Edge left, so he lost his spot.
Yeah? What?
Chimmel. I'm saying because Edge. It was the downturn in his career.
Superstar! Well, shout out to Tony Chimmel. We love you. So she's coming back. That's good. National anthem. Nobody sings it better.
Nobody sings it better. No, she
She's good.
has a great voice.
She does. She's really good.
Even though she's Hispanic.
So what?
What? Oh, thanks.
Wes, that was kind of...
Shout out to all the Hispanic people listening to our show. Thank you
Send
very
all the
much.
hate mail,
Thanks.
courtesy of Wes Burden at OutsideTheRing316 at gmail.com. Make sure you put Wes Burden hate mail.
I'm just saying she's a Hispanic singing the American national anthem.
So,
That's all there is to it.
okay.
You're hilarious.
You know how bad that sounds?
No, I don't mean it in a bad way.
I know you don't mean anything by it. I'm just busting your balls, man.
It's okay.
Wow. All right. And this is only going to get worse. Chris Benoit movie in the works. I'd really like to hear what Wes thinks about this. The final days of Chris Benoit
I like the title of the movie.
are going to be retold in a new big screen biographical. It's 10 o'clock. I've worked all day. Thriller entitled Crossface.
I saw Biological too.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna throw something at you here in a second. SRG Films have bought
You
the
almost
rights.
took my eye out last
I
week.
did. Don't make me hulk up. The rights to Matthew Randazzo's book Ring of Hell. So I didn't even know he had a book about this. The story of Chris Benoit and the fall of the pro wrestling industry. The retail wrestler story whose career and life ended in a double murder suicide. It was pretty nasty.
I wonder if WWE Films is picking this up.
Oh, no.
Definitely not. They don't want
no.
nothing to do with this. And somebody asked JR on Twitter if he would go see it.
He said no.
He said hell no. It said sad no. People admit this is what the the director. He says, quote here, people immediately point to steroids, never thinking about the brain trauma, which is true. These wrestlers can and do incur in their profession, nor do they consider the
rigorous schedule that keeps them working even when they shouldn't be.
Yep, the Benoit story is one that needs to be brought into the light, unquote.
I saw you needed some help there for a second.
I know, I'm struggling. And I said I didn't need water.
They always talked about how WWE needs an off season, just to, I don't know, just to refresh the batteries for the wrestlers, give them some time off.
They really should give them even if it's just like 2 months, give them 2 months off.
But they have to be the longest weekly episodic show.
We can do a whole
already
show.
got that title.
I know.
Who cares?
We can do a whole show on Benoit and what happened. But a lot of
and
people
I know that is going to be a very big. If we were to ever do that, that'd be a very big hot button. There are people that say, oh, he deserves no remorse. He's a cold-blooded killer. He's a monster. He deserved to die. Blah blah blah. Then there's people that actually think it through. The brain trauma.
Yeah.
He wasn't in his right state of mind. There's nobody out there saying that this was the right thing to do.
Oh, no.
Nobody. If you do, you're a
idiot.
Freaking moron.
I'm gonna censor you before you use the beat button for the first time there. He's
sorry.
I think when the whole thing happened, this was back in what, 08? Give or take? Already? It's been a while.
I think so.
I think it was 08.
I think it was.
When he did this, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because remember, WWE had a Raw tribute to him. The whole show.
The whole show that nobody wrestled.
And then
because it was so soon after Eddie's.
And then when they found out that Chris murdered his wife and his kid and killed himself. Vince was on. Remember, this was during the whole Vince McMahon blowing up in a car thing where Vince supposedly died.
Yeah, Vince came out and apologized.
The next night on ECW, Vince, all of a sudden, obviously, is fine, and he's in the ring, and you're like, oh, crap, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he says, basically, Benoit will never be
mentioned.
Chris Benoit is
mentioned again.
Is just done.
Like what you said, like people still argue about whether or not he should be included, like WWE Hall of Fame on. Like they never mention his main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I totally
there still
see,
are
though,
people
Vince...
there are still those closed-minded people that think, he killed his family. He took the coward's way out with suicide. Blah blah blah. That's why he doesn't deserve to be there. And then they won't listen to the trained professionals with the doctors saying the years of steroid abuse and the rigorous schedule took their toll on his brain. He was not the Chris Benoit that we knew when this happened.
No, this like you said, Troy. You could go so many different ways, and I think everybody would be right. Was it wrong? Yes.
Yes.
Is Benoit one of the best wrestlers of all time? Yes. You could go so many different ways. The movie's going to be interesting. Now, is this going to be a theater release?
It probably won't be a full release. It'll probably be limited.
It'll probably be either limited or straight.
Now, is they going to have somebody playing the role as Chris Benoit?
I would imagine, right?
Is it going to be?
It's a biographical thriller.
Well, I'm thinking if it
entitles that it's an actual movie.
That's what I'm saying, because are they gonna really go in depth and show how he
I don't know if they'd go that far. They
might just show him walking into the house.
Yeah,
and then
show
the next
him walking
day,
into the house.
Show the cops outside or something.
Then it might show him.
I hope.
Because the story, he smothered his son with a pillow.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It might show him standing over him with the pillow, but it ain't gonna show him actually doing it.
It's sick. I don't even thinking about it.
If they would do that, I wouldn't see it. That's just completely
too much,
disrespectful. Yeah, just way, way, way too much.
Sarah
Coulter.
Something like that.
Couture, Randy Couture.
This MMA workout.
Yeah, she's already actually written the first draft of the script. So they're going to be start filming this late next year. So
I don't know.
We'll
Do you think that it will be actually Chris Benoit, or will it be like, based on his story, but they'll change the names to?
That's what I'm wondering.
Save the face of the
I don't know. This is and not to mention, I think Chris Benoit's dad. He's really been into getting the message out there that Benoit, his son, the
Wasn't
head
that
trauma,
kind of a person.
and bringing to light the steroid abuse.
Well, ask all the other wrestlers
that
talked that night. Triple H, Edge, Batista, all these guys that knew Chris Benoit really, really well. And I think Triple H even said it best. He was the most professional guy in the locker room. Period.
When it came to outside the ring, he was good. But when as soon as you step foot in that arena, he was all about the business.
Yep.
No joking around, all serious.
And he always had his son at the shows and everything.
I don't remember.
Like I said, you could do a whole show.
I remember
on this.
Triple H also. I don't know if it was on that show or if it was in an interview afterwards. He was almost always at the gym.
Yeah.
At the gym or in the ring before the show training.
Did any of the wrestlers ever mention seeing signs of him? I don't remember if they ever came out and said anything about that.
Who was it that he sent? No, he sent
Chavo,
text
right?
to Chavo.
Right?
Yeah, and Chavo they were oddly worded text, and Chavo started wondering what was going on.
It was Chavo. Okay. And then not to mention that, but when did you? I'm sure you guys saw it. It was on CNN the week that this happened. John Cena, Chris Jericho,
on Larry King.
Was that the whole thing they were talking about the steroids?
Bret Hart. I still watch that because they really go in depth. And Jericho, who's a pretty smart guy, intellectual dude, was saying this is not the guy that I was best friends with for 20 years.
The guy that did this crime was not my friend. I did not know this man.
It's a good interview.
Well, even in his books, both his books, he mentions Benoit numerous times. I mean, he doesn't shy away from shining light on what he did, but but like you said, he talked about how he was a different person. He just remembers the wrestling guy, not that guy.
Sad.
Yep.
Okay. So,
before we get into a whole other show on this, let's move along.
I knew that would happen. Raw rating drops below a 3.0 again. So December 5th Raw, which was last night from Tampa, drew a 2.97 cable rating average.
It's not that low again.
No, I mean,
below 3.
If TNA would like that right about now.
Yeah. TNA's lucky to break a 2 anymore nowadays.
Trying to break a 1.
So it's down from last week's 3.23. So they are losing viewers every week. Monday Night Football sucked last night. It was the Chargers and Jaguars.
The trend of Raw losing viewers in hour 2 continued.
Yeah.
It's because most of the people have come to, think that in hour 2 it's going to be Cena. So they automatically tune out in hour 2.
There's going to be talking. They think maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It must be. Well, they saved Punk for the end, and I thought that was a brilliant move.
That was a great promo too.
I thought it was a brilliant move to save Punk because I think
he's losing viewers.
I don't think so.
Did you guys hear the crowd? The crowd was
dead all night.
Yeah.
I think it was a bad crowd. Tampa's never really.
I'm surprised
they're not a good sports town. So
I'm really
I don't
surprised.
I love Tampa.
Crowd.
Shout out to Tampa.
I'm really
Florida,
surprised they didn't boo Cena more, seeing as it's a stone's throw away from Miami.
Yeah, he kind of got more cheers last night.
Well, it's close enough, but it's still
close. Yeah. I don't know.
But anyways,
I think it's a dull product right now. I don't think there's doing and the Twitter.
You was telling me about that story in WWE 12 that the guy posted online.
I didn't tell Wes this. I don't think so. The new video game WWE 12. Before we get out of headlines and stuff, okay, you could basically in this game, Troy knows because he plays it. You can make your own storylines. So people have pretty creative stuff on there, like John Cena turning heel.
Online?
Yes, and posted online for other people to play the storyline.
Okay.
Somebody made a CM Punk storyline where he's going
CM
up against
Punk's Deception or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to whoever that guy is if he's listening. He
I don't think he is.
I doubt it too. But basically, this dude made a storyline where it's not really. It's basically everything that we say on this show. About how they overuse Twitter. John Cena's character.
Yeah.
John Laurinaitis overmuch, used overmuch, all that stuff in this storyline.
Used overmuch.
Used
we
overmuch.
need sleep.
New sleep. Scratch that word.
Overmuch.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't know what he even said over there. What did you say?
So are we done with this? Are we doing this?
No, he's going off.
So this thing.
Just make it quick because I want to go home.
basically, it's just everything that we say in here.
They make fun of Twitter all the time.
Like on Xbox or
PS3, Xbox?
PS3, Xbox. Yeah.
So how did you see it? How do you watch it?
You play it.
You don't. Yeah, you don't watch it. You actually play
so
it.
It's like
you
a game.
can use anybody else's storylines that they create.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
so it's like an unlimited amount of stuff.
You download this storyline, and like he's got it set to where the story will progress whether you win or lose.
Okay.
And it's Twitter this, Twitter that, and
yeah.
in the story, King's like, Michael, is that all you talk about is Twitter? Twitter this, Twitter that, and there's a part in there where they take out tables, ladders, and chairs and make it Twitter, ladders, and chairs. And I kid you not, you play in a Twitter ring. Yes.
Wow.
This guy obviously. So we've been talking for weeks about how they've overused Twitter. Obviously, we're not the only ones.
No, you didn't tell him how you win that match. You climb the ladder, get the briefcase, take out the cell phone, and the first person to tweet wins.
Wow.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if they have a match like this. I would not be shocked.
Hey, they should bring in the creator of Twitter. They have guests all the time. Why not bring them in?
Yeah. So our last thing, real quick. CM Punk stated Tuesday on Twitter that he was undergoing was undergoing an X-ray examination today. He wrote, quote, heading for X-rays, then gym, because broke beef don't stop me. So there you go.
He added soon the dirt sheet headline, Punk gets X-ray. Then he said, going to jump in a volcano, then gym, because hot lava don't stop me.
Yeah.
Soon to be dirt sheet headline, Punk jumps into volcano.
Yeah. He
has a lot of fun.
He pretty much says whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yes. He doesn't care. That's why I like Punk.
The big headline, the huge, tremendous, the overpowering, struck me.
Yep.
I almost broke down and cried.
Yep.
Rima Fakih, Miss USA, got a DUI.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Did you guys see? Did you guys hear her excuse of why she was driving drunk?
No.
Did you, Troy?
She was on top.
I don't really care.
No, it was funny. She said that her and her friend were leaving a party, and long story short, they drove. She was drunk. Her friend was drunker, so she drove, and she said the cop pulled her over, and she said that she was at that moment she realized she was too drunk to drive and pulled over right before the cop pulled her over.
No, she pulled over because she saw the damn cop in the rearview mirror.
Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
It sounds like Dominic and Sue for the Lions.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it sounds like to me. What a horrible story that is. I don't care. So there you go. There's headlines for tonight.
Here's how horrible this story is.
Yep. You can probably do that for like.
Can I set it on fire?
Yeah, you could. So, Raw last night. Where do we go?
It was okay.
It wasn't
okay. Terrible. It wasn't great.
But it's like the same Raw the last 3 weeks. Am I the only one thinking that? It's been the same damn stuff.
There wasn't any long matches.
Yeah.
No.
The matches that were there were pretty decent.
I think the longest match was
Ziggler and Orton were
Cena
good.
and Ryder's match.
Cena
Cena
and Ryder was better than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it was slow paced.
I'm still not happy Ryder came out.
I mentioned this last night.
Came out on top.
I mentioned this last night on Facebook. And Troy knows. I gave it up for the kid. I said, woo, 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 you know it. And I got heat. I think I was Wes.
And I think what did I say? I said something about
I said Wes out there is somewhere happy right now.
I said Ryder, blah. Then he said my dude
Mikey said he takes naps during Ryder matches.
You came in and you said, yeah, but it's somebody new, and to that I said, yeah, but it's Ryder.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Zack Ryder's #1 fan over there.
About what? Which part?
Everything. Everything that had to do with Ryder.
He was
last
on
night.
the show. He was in 4 segments last night.
He was on the show a lot.
I mean, that's unbelievable for somebody that wasn't on the show 6 months ago at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty happy.
I thought Cena had a very good promo when he was in the back after the match with Ryder.
Oh, and he was all mad at Laurinaitis?
With Laurinaitis. Yeah. I actually thought that was some of the best John Cena stuff I've seen because it was real emotion. Yeah. He honestly wants this kid...
a 26-year-old kid.
This 26-year-old kid, he's my age, thank you, to finally get a shot.
Yeah. I mean,
you could tell in his face and his emotions.
He gave Ryder a shot at the expense of his world heavyweight or his WWE title shot.
Which I'm interested now. Now that makes me interested. Where do they go with Cena for
Maybe
this
they
pay-per-view?
add him in next week.
That could be. I thought about that.
Yeah,
they could.
or do they build up more to this heel turn that they're showing us?
I think that they are building up to that, and they are pushing Punk, Miz, and Del Rio to get Cena out of the limelight.
I think so.
Cena's time
he even said it.
is up.
He said, I'm a 10-time champion.
Yeah.
And
he basically said, I'm
he
a 10
said it.
He has nothing else to do.
Yeah, I'm a 10-time champion. I don't need this anymore.
That's exactly
Give
it.
it to Ryder.
That is exactly it. He says he doesn't need a push anymore. He doesn't need to be in the main event no more. Well, other than with The Rock.
Yeah, he's actually addressing what the people are saying to him now. Yeah. And he's actually, showing it on screen.
It's interesting. So my thing is, watching this, where do they go with Cena now?
I don't know. I mean, if they don't put him in the match, what's he going to be doing? What's there to do?
That's a good point.
There's no other heels, is there?
That's why I'm wondering.
He could be out there in Ryder's corner.
A promo or something where...
I don't know.
Where do they go? I'm with Troy said last week, and with the whole Piper thing, we were all split on this, but I still think they are planting the seeds for something big. I just have
I'm
that
not going to
feeling.
say it'll happen like next week.
No,
it might even happen after WrestleMania next year.
Yep, yes it could.
But it's going to happen.
Cena is going to turn heel.
I think they need something to happen. Speaking of the ratings, I mean, I think they have to do something big, don't they?
Well, this is what I think. People, I don't want to hear about, but he's good with kids and all this stuff. Cena could still do the thing with kids. He could still do the thing with kids. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, brother, when he was a heel, still did things for charity.
Undertaker has done stuff with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
It'd be like the Bizarro WWE. The kids would be cheering the heel, and the adults would be cheering
the face
instead of the other way around. The kids cheering the face.
It would be different, and that where you bring up the ratings, it would spike. John Cena, I'm telling you, if you have we know that the night after WrestleMania, the Raw ratings are through the roof. It's one of the biggest shows of the year. If they turn Cena heel at Mania, that Raw is going to be the biggest Raw in the last 10 years. That Raw could have a possibility
of getting close to a 5 rating.
Yes. No, that's not joking. That's seriousness.
Yeah.
I mean... I would do it.
I mean, it's not going to get anything near Monday Night Football.
No.
It's not going to get a 15.
I think the problem is Vince does not feel threatened by TNA.
No.
Ring of Honor.
He's come out in interviews and says, they're nothing to me.
No. I cheer for TNA to get better. I hope TNA gets better. I want TNA to put boots to asses on WWE.
Me and you were talking about it earlier before Wes got here.
Yep.
TNA has the talent.
Yes.
They have, everything but writers.
Yeah. I love that they got Bobby Roode as champion.
They have the potential. They just got to realize where it's at.
You have guys,
and where it
the likes of, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, James Storm, Christopher Daniels,
Kurt Angle,
Samoa Joe.
Well, Samoa Joe might not be there for that much longer.
That's true.
Yeah. Crimson is on the up and up. Matt Morgan.
RVD when he's not stoned. Jeff Hardy when he's not stoned.
Which is both hard to find.
Hey, man, it's cool.
What about Double J?
What about Double J?
You didn't mention him.
What did you say about Double J?
What was it? The man broke 10,000 guitars, couldn't draw a dime.
He always thought he was Hulk Hogan.
Wasn't that what Nash said?
Yeah, no, that was one of the I can't think of his name. It was on one of the WWE DVDs, and he compared it, Double J, when Double J was in WCW and Russo was pushing him out the butt. Basically, Mike Graham said it. He said he thought he could outdraw Hulk Hogan.
No.
But in his little Tennessee brain, he smashed 5 billion guitars and he could never draw a dime. And he's right.
Yeah.
That's what we think of Jeff
Because
Jarrett.
right now in TNA, Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy, nobody cares.
I don't even care about Jeff Hardy anymore.
No.
He blew his chance. You said that a couple weeks ago.
He had everything he needed in WWE. He screwed it up, got high, and now WWE and got busted with it. And now WWE, I honestly think they don't want anything to do with him until he completes rehab.
He's not that good on the mic. I think he's one of the worst on the mic.
Average.
He's
all
on
right.
the mic. He's good in the ring, but he's too much of a spot monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. Hey, if you like that type of wrestling, but here's the thing:
he didn't have a strong moveset.
No,
not at all.
The highest
like
impact,
a John Morrison.
Yeah, the highest impact moves he had were the Swanton and
Twist of Fate.
The Twist of Fate.
And Whisper in the Wind.
The Twist of Fate was just a modified RKO.
Yep.
And
not as flashy, not as pretty.
Yeah.
I think it looked half-assed all the time, to be honest with you. I thought Matt Hardy did it a little bit better, but let's not talk about Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Where did we go from Raw to
I don't know how we got
leftovers.
that.
We
were talking about the ratings and how TNA could get better.
That's how we do this show.
They do need to get better though.
We don't need to go through every match on Raw.
Not every match was a match. Like the Divas quote unquote match.
And how'd that end again, Troy?
Fucking roll up.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I hate the friggin' Divas.
I didn't think we were going to have to use the B button. Thank you, Troy.
Now, you mentioned the Divas. That just sent me off the deep end. I hate
You thought about
damn
it.
Divas.
I almost thought I didn't have to use the B button for once this week. Oh, well. See how that goes?
It wouldn't be a show without it.
Did they interrupt the Divas match before or after?
Yeah, before they did a promo for Beth and Natty and the whole, the second thing.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Because that's really the only big thing that happened.
Let's save that till the end.
Okay.
Let's go back through Raw and
go back to Ryder. Ryder wins. Ryder beat.
How do you guys feel about him beating Mark Henry? That's the first pinfall Mark Henry's taking clean.
Here we go.
How long?
Let me say this. John Cena.
That was not a clean pinfall.
I'm not saying clean pinfall, but he beat him with a pinfall.
Well, okay,
John Cena set it up.
I've said it before. It was a no DQ match, so that was technically a clean pinfall.
Yeah.
John Cena beat Ryder. Then John Cena goes back, gives a pretty decent promo to
Laurinaitis.
Smokeface.
With Laurinaitis. And Otunga was there to begin with. And
Cena told me, get the hell out of there.
Why was I about to say Morrison?
Because of what he said later on in the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cena basically gets in Carlton Banks' face and tells him, this doesn't involve you, get out.
Right.
So Otunga tucks his tail in between his legs and goes running back to his wife.
Jennifer Hudson. Shout out to Jennifer.
And he basically proceeds to tell, Laurinaitis, this kid has worked his ass off to get where he is. He deserves this match. And Laurinaitis tells him, oh, John, I'll give him the match. I'll give him another title opportunity.
Yeah.
I'll let him have another opportunity to get his match if you give up your spot in the match at TLC for the WWE title.
Yes.
So why
Cena, like we said earlier, said, I'm a 10-time champion. I don't need it. Give it to
Why
Ryder.
did he even beat him then?
Well, so this is what I think.
There's no logic there. I mean, he beat him, and then he gives up his shot.
It was another failed attempt to make Cena look like a good guy.
Give it a little swerve.
Exactly. So Ryder is waiting in I thought he was going to go up against Nash.
I thought it was going to be Brodus Clay.
I was thinking Brodus Clay too.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was waiting for him.
At first I thought at first I thought Henry, but then I was like, no, Brodus Clay. They've been building him up for so long. I'm really starting to think that they're having second thoughts with Brodus Clay.
I don't know what they're doing.
Because notice they didn't mention him verbally on air last night.
He was just trending on Twitter.
He was trending on Twitter, yeah.
Hey, Brodus, I know you haven't debuted, even though I said you were supposed to debut in the last 10 weeks of Raw.
If he's not on a 3-hour Raw,
just go to McDonald's, go to Burger King, go eat Wendy's. I don't care. We'll see you in a few months. Get well soon in your future endeavors. That's what's
Go to Wendy's, say hi to Heath Slater.
I don't understand what they're doing. Why do they keep talking about him if they're not going to use him?
I don't know. Because like Troy said,
to my knowledge, he's not in FCW.
He's probably
just waiting backstage every night for his call.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind Ryder winning, obviously, but it just they're making Mark Henry look dumber and dumber each week by having him slowly lose his edge as a monster guy.
By the way, Cena's still strong as hell. He just picked up Mark Henry. But
if you could see, he
struggled.
He just kind of.
Yeah, but damn!
He just kind of lobbed him over.
Yeah.
He didn't actually get him up and over like he has.
How weak does that make him look, though? Cena comes in, hits his one move on him, and then that's it for him.
And it kind of makes Ryder look bad because he didn't do it by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's like Troy said. It's bad WWE booking at its finest.
Yep.
Why not have? Okay, I know nobody in their right mind thought Ryder was going to beat Cena. There was no way in hell.
And if you did, you're buying into it too much.
Yeah, you need a life.
After Ryder hits that broski boot to in the corner, the dude Cena, they need to get up quicker.
No. Ryder needs to learn how to do that damn thing first.
What? It looks fine.
He looked like he legit nailed both Henry and Cena.
Well,
smack dab in the side of the face.
It's a kick in the face.
No, it's like when you see it, it hits, you see their head snap, you see the contact, and then forcefully he just brushes it off the side of the face.
What's that move called?
He actually hits.
Boot.
He kicks them with that. He may not kick them full force, but that's gotta hurt.
Remember when Nick Foley did the thing with the knee, and he'd run at the corner with the knee?
Yeah.
That always looked like holy crap.
Or
Nick.
when Umaga did that with the But yeah, he does that, and then he's standing up there doing his little waving of his fingers for like 20 seconds. It seems like
the whole LI thing.
Yeah, they need to speed that up a little bit.
Yeah, that
and
thing.
Did Ryder really think that going for the Rough Rider on Cena was not going to result in an attitude adjustment?
Yeah,
obviously not.
You basically might as well have just dove onto his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the big thing about Raw this week was Ryder's push.
Yeah.
And
honestly, that's when you know Raw is bad. When it focuses on Ryder.
I didn't mind the whole thing with Ryder.
Yeah, they have nothing else to focus on. I mean,
that's my thing.
They just
except until the main event.
What was the main event?
Well,
I forget.
Contracts.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. There was really no main event this week.
The Ziggler and Sheamus match was last.
Yeah, Ziggler and Sheamus was...
It was all right.
That's how I consider it, at least. The last match is the main event.
Yeah. This Raw was boring. The more we talk about it, what? Wasn't that good?
The best matches, if you ask me, were Ziggler and Orton and Ryder and Cena.
Wait, you mean Miz?
Miz and Orton.
Miz and Orton.
Yeah.
Miz and Orton and Ziggler and...
Sheamus.
Sheamus was decent.
For the time they got.
I said this to Troy. We talked about a little bit last week. Orton has lost a lot in the last month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's on a losing streak.
Does it make him look bad, though?
No.
He still looks credible.
Because he's still putting the younger guys over.
He's doing what Cena should do.
I don't like it is when the guys run out, like Wade Barrett and Zack Ryder, they run out and they play their music. Why do they have to play their music? I don't understand.
Let's not telegraph that anymore.
I know, yeah. It's unbelievable. I don't get it. It just makes no sense for them to play the music and let them know the guy's coming out. And
or you get the exact opposite. They play the music, nobody comes out.
Yeah.
Just playing with their mind.
They come in the crowd.
Yeah.
Come from the crowd. That's what they always used to do.
Yeah.
The guy looks at the stage and they come through the crowd.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Barrett's getting pushed, though, and that Orton and Barrett, I kind of am interested in this feud. I think Orton, the more they keep kind of screwing Orton, I'm thinking more and more that Orton's going to beat him clean.
Yeah.
But they could still go with it. Even if he beats him, you could still go with that feud.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't even, that's okay. And I think Miz, we're going to get to this anyway, so Miz, Punk, and Del Rio are in the main event now at TLC.
As of right now,
originally, it was
Cena
and Punk in the main event, and Laurinaitis came out and said, I'm going to give, Ziggler, Del Rio, and Miz a match tonight, and if they win that match, they're in.
Yep.
Miz got in because Orton got counted out because he was chasing Barrett.
Yep. Who Del Rio beat?
Daniel Bryan.
Del Rio beat Daniel Bryan. Yeah, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand it because Daniel Bryan was supposed to be injured.
They're playing it off like he's injured.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
But you know what? Were you listening to Cole throughout that match? He did not once mention that, Bryan, he could have been hurt or his ribs were hurt.
No. He even said something about, this is the business. You get hurt. You go out there and you wrestle. And my first thought is, dumbass, he's out there wrestling with an injury.
I know, He kept calling him
Michael Cole.
He called him a loser throughout the whole match. How is that making Daniel Bryan look good by
how we said we could do how we said we could do a whole show on Cena's heel turn and Benoit?
We could do a whole show on Michael Cole being a dumbass.
Yeah, it's not even funny.
I thought about that for a second. You might have had to have busted out the button again.
I got it right here.
What do you think about Cole? How awful is that?
What do I think about him? You really want to know what I think about him?
You don't want to know what I think about him.
He's a slimy son of a...
Yeah, I know. It's just
he sucks at All right, I'm hulking up. All right,
okay.
Hold on. he sucks at commentary. He's a loser. He knows no wrestling moves.
No.
The guy, he doesn't know anything but Twitter. Twitter this, Twitter that, Twitter me this. Let's see. What else don't I like?
Twitter me this, fat man.
What else don't I like about Michael Cole? His haircut sucks. He went to Texas. Hook him nothing. What else?
Oh, my brother. Testify.
Michael Cole is a disgrace to commentary.
Yes.
All right. We've been holding
Gorilla
back.
Monsoon rolls over in his grave every time Michael Cole opens his mouth.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to say?
One more thing. Okay,
Sorry.
He's the one
Wes
commentator.
is trying to hurry this up.
No, I'm just being
Michael Cole, a.k.a. Bitchel Cole, is the one problem that I really have with him, honest to God. And this is a WWE thing that JR needs to be back. They don't call the moves. They don't break the crap down. I stopped myself. Okay, the problem is the only moves that Michael Cole calls, honest to God, is the finishing move.
Hey. He says
It's an attitude adjustment.
He calls Orton's power slam. He calls it wrong,
does
but
he?
he calls it a scoop slam, but he calls it.
The signature moves. He never goes, nice arm bar, nice cross-body suplex, none of that.
JR breaks a match down.
Right, and we've talked about this before. Michael Cole plugs WWE Magazine, Twitter. He's the absolute corporate puppet.
And see with JR is let's say JR is calling a Del Rio match.
Yep.
Del Rio starts working on the arm.
He breaks it
down.
down.
He breaks it down. He says, "Oh, Del Rio's."
He's looking to target his arm.
He does that knee breaker.
You know how good
thing.
JR is.
And he lets us, and he tells you, Del Rio's softening up that arm for the cross arm.
You know
breaker.
how good to go on that point, Troy. You know how good JR is. UFC wants him as a commentary with Mike Goldberg.
You go.
They were WWE was trying
you're
to
getting
get
rid of Joe Rogan.
Well, yeah,
No.
but
Oh wait, no, Joe Rogan's leaving because Fear Factor's coming back.
and he's a color guy.
Yeah.
Mike Goldberg, who does an outstanding job for UFC, was about to leave for WWE. WWE was going to pay him big time, 7 figures. And he turned him down for UFC because I guess Dana White probably upped the ante, and but
Wouldn't doubt that.
But when they found out Goldberg might have been leaving, they were giving JR cash. I mean, big time, dropping money back to Oklahoma to get him out of WWE.
He has an interest in the sport already, so I don't see why he wouldn't.
And like Troy said,
There's a lot of
listen to
WWE
offers.
superstars that do like UFC.
That's
Which
right.
is why I don't
Undertaker.
understand why Dana White doesn't like WWE.
I think it's not that. I think he likes pro wrestling. I don't think he likes Vince McMahon too much.
No.
I think that's the problem. Then again, there's a lot of people like that.
I like how CM
Mike-
Punk makes fun of Triple H too for not realizing how UFC continues to evolve as a product, and WWE is still, like you guys have pointed out, obviously numerous times, it's still stale and the
it's
same
just-
thing every other week.
It's on the straight and narrow,
Hey,
and it barely ever swerves.
The good thing
left or
about
right.
this show is we don't work for WWE. We don't work for TNA.
We can say whatever the hell we
I mean,
want.
I've had friends of
can?
mine. Yeah, well, not that far. I've had friends of mine that like, hey, how come you always, that listen to our show? They're fans, but they're going, how come you bash TNA so much and not WWE? Come on, have you listened to all our shows?
Yeah.
We are not biased towards any of these guys. We hate right down the middle. I mean, we call a spade a spade.
We're
CM
not
Punk.
We're not
Yeah.
biased. We hate everything.
Well said. See, the problem is if we think Raw stinks or sucks, we're not going to break down every match.
Yeah, we're not going to sugarcoat it.
If you're a wrestling fan, we're just going to tell you we're not going to break down every match. And we're not going to, like some of these internet guys that give matches 1 to 5 stars. We do that for pay-per-views.
We do that for pay-per-views, and at the end of each show, we'll give Raw a rating.
We sum it up.
And again, we're trying to work on incorporating SmackDown in the show. I know that there's been a few people that have said, "Well, what did you think of SmackDown? Why don't you guys cover SmackDown?" Again, we all work.
Yeah.
Friday nights really aren't that great for us. None of us have a TiVo. What? You have a TiVo, or you have?
I did a DVR, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's still, even if I watch SmackDown, it's after our show's recorded.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Even if we got, it's hard to do. When we record like on Tuesdays, we can't really wait till the SmackDown spoilers are out.
I mean, if we do that, we'll be waiting around until
we give you guys the show every Wednesday. So
yeah.
So wait, back on JR, why can't they bring him in on SmackDown? Like how doesn't Cole call? Obviously, he calls both SmackDown and Raw, so
which is a joke.
Yeah,
that's another reason I hate Michael Cole. He's being shoved down our throats. He's on
just
Raw,
like Cena,
SmackDown, and every pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I've said this.
Why aren't they using the guys like Scott Stafford that's on Superstars, who is a tremendously better announcer than Cole?
I don't know
who is even on Superstars. Scott Stafford and some other guy.
Well, he was with William Regal.
Yeah, but Regal's in FCW. Regal went back to FCW to feud with Dean Ambrose.
Wow.
I don't know who he's with now.
See, I don't understand. I just why, like Troy said, JR breaks down a match. It would bring in, even if you didn't like everything that's going on in WWE right now, JR brings back that older demographic.
Yes.
Because he was in the NWA, WCW. He brings in those older fans. And when you see him breaking down a match, everybody knows wrestling's fake. Yeah. I mean, scripted. But when you listen to JR, he makes it real.
Exactly.
Michael Cole makes it sound like
a soap opera.
Yes.
And he just
Michael Cole
exactly.
turns it into a soap opera / freaking Twitter commercial.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, What else can
and
you
again,
say?
you brought it up, Wes, a few weeks ago about how WWE is treating Twitter like it's the be-all, end-all social networking thing.
And it's not.
It's not.
It's getting to the point now where it's laughable. Do we need? Who cares what's trending? If you're on Twitter,
Honestly,
you know what's trending.
Honestly, I don't have a Twitter, and Michael Cole is not influencing me to get one.
He's scaring you away.
Michael Cole is making me not want to get a Twitter even more.
The thing is when they cite like how they're the most socially trended topic like online, like they use Trender.tv, which is actually like a source of Twitter. They weren't around before Twitter because there was no way to measure it before. So it's the same thing, just Twitter.
And also, like you said,
twice.
these things that are trending, it doesn't take that many people to get something trending.
No. So we did see it, like you said, Troy. They play this Natty and Beth Phoenix promo,
a quote unquote pin-up strong promo.
But then in the middle of it, we see another one of these January 2nd,
2012.
2012
Chris Jericho sightings.
You think it's Chris Jericho?
It is.
I'm thinking it's Jericho or Taker.
That's what I'm
saying. I know
saying.
last week I said I was leaning more towards...
Who said it was somebody else? You said somebody, Wes. Didn't you last week? Who did you say?
Well, I said Skip Sheffield.
Oh, and I said if it's Skip Sheffield, I'm never watching WWE again.
No.
Who was it? Somebody said it might be Karma.
Yeah, somebody on YouTube said Karma.
I don't think it's been long enough yet for her.
And not to mention, if it is Karma, this is
kind of a letdown, honestly.
Yeah, I like Karma, but this is this could be huge.
Yeah.
Because this is the first Raw
this
of 2012.
Could mark Undertaker, Jericho, and Kane coming back in the same
This
night.
is what I said, Wes. I told this to Troy. And we said this last week a little bit. We touched on it, how Triple H and Taker came back last year at the same time. With, obviously they're promoting Taker, and then Triple H comes out. They could have this whole thing, and you mentioned, Troy, with the Twitter thing. It's two different things. We see the video, but then we see the Twitter thing fuzzle
video,
out.
If you listen to the video, he's talking about, a familiar force will rise again.
That sounds like Taker.
Yeah.
No.
But the Twitter thing, where the Twitter thing is fuzzing
Jericho
out,
has
that's
always
Jericho.
been kind of technological stuff.
So we're thinking it's
the whole
both of them.
Millennium Clock, the code, the code is the answer, the answer is the
I
code.
could totally see Undertaker coming out, and somewhere maybe Jericho comes underneath the ring, his pyro goes off, whatever, and they set up a Jericho-Taker feud for Mania.
Maybe.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I wish that Raw wasn't like the Chicago Raw is the Raw before that. I wish it was in Chicago. That 1-2-12 Raw. That would have been awesome.
I think that's another reason why Punk might still have the belt then, too.
Oh, he will. He'll have it after TLC.
Because
he's going to go back to his hometown with the belt.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no way it's not going to happen.
So who knows? The promos are very strange. Honestly, that's the best thing besides CM Punk that's going on right now in WWE.
And we don't even know who the hell it is.
We don't. No. We really don't even care. It's
it could be Skip Sheffield for all I care.
Have you watched the videos? Like at the end, there's always like 7 seconds of just black screen.
Yep.
Like I'm always sitting there watching. Like I'm waiting for something little to pop up.
Is there going to be like that?
Like a little flash,
millisecond of
like an eye or somebody?
Next week, you never know.
I know
because they're showing more and more. And last night they said something at the end, like the truth is within, something like that.
They said it all. Yeah, they had a text on the screen.
Okay.
Said, yeah. That's what I think. That's what it said.
Yeah. So, and like I said, it could be both of them.
And right there, that could be Jericho, because Jericho was not shy of telling people the truth, even if it hurt them.
That's true. It could be Jericho. I'm leaning more towards Jericho, but I would not be shocked if it's Taker too.
Plus, like I said, like I mentioned last week, YouTube Y, 2nd 2 of January J.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
When you said that, I almost
maybe it's set up for Jericho, and if they don't get a deal set up, then maybe they'll just
I heard that. That could be it. It can work for either of them.
The good people at NoDQ.com actually mentioned that they said that Jericho was they're still trying to get him, but if he can't go, it's going to be Taker. That's why they're making these promos.
Yeah.
So it could be either one. So
I'd like to see Jericho because Taker.
I love Taker. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, but you could bring him in a different way.
Seen your Fave 5?
He's in my Fave 5, dog. Honestly, you know how I want Taker to return? Someone wins the Royal Rumble, lights go out, there's Taker in the ring, choke slam. You don't need Taker with all these promos.
No.
Just bring him back, have the lights go off, those lights go on, boom.
You don't even
That's
need.
awesome.
You don't even need like the bell. The lights go off. Lights come back
Although
on.
I'll tell you what, with the bell would even be cooler.
Lights go off.
They need to,
just the gong one time.
You hear the bell, and right after it's done, lights come back up. Whoever it is laid out in the ring.
Rest
Undertaker's
in peace.
gone.
They need to just tease the lights. Just start flickering the lights at random shows.
I thought the best thing they did with Taker, honestly, was at the Royal Rumble when Kane buried him. When Kane first unmasked, and then the gong went off at number 20 or whatever,
and he was like,
no. Right, you're dead.
Yeah.
I buried you. You're not coming back. And then Taker never showed up for 2 more months. That's how you bring Taker back.
Yeah.
You don't need these promos. Jericho, yes, promos.
Seriously,
promo.
WWE, if anybody from the WWE is listening, hire us.
Hire us. We'll book for you.
We'll book. We'll write.
No, we got to move out to Hollywood and learn how to write scripts.
Well, we'll try.
That's the only way we're getting
hired. That's right, of course. Freddie Prince. That's how he got hired.
That's all they're hiring now.
Although Freddie Prince actually ain't too bad. At least Freddie Prince Jr. is a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
He's a legitimate fan.
Okay, so we need to be actors then.
Okay. We all need to date Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Do we have anything else to go over on Raw?
The main thing. CM Punk.
CM Punk,
Miz, and Del Rio promo. Good promo.
All came out for a contract signing, and of course, Punk starts ragging on Laurinaitis like, "Oh, this looks so familiar. Let me guess. We all sign the contract and then start fighting." Punk actually takes the table and moves it so they can start fighting.
Never seen this before, right?
And Laurinaitis is like, "Punk, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Well, this ends in a fight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why just skip the middle, man?
Yeah.
Let's just do this.
CM Punk is the mic guy for the crowd because they know that it's going to end bad.
Yeah.
He's the mic guy for smart wrestling fans.
He got a Pier 6 brawl trending on Twitter.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, they
Cole.
didn't say that on.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't pop it up. It was like right away. My favorite line was when the Miz was talking about
John Morrison,
and then Laurinaitis turned.
Almost.
He turned and then he gave
dead straight in the camera.
I'd like to take this time to send out.
Wish John Laurinaitis the best in his future endeavors.
I seriously
did he
was laughing.
wink? Didn't he wink or give him a thumbs up there on that?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I know he was kind of pointing at the camera.
It was sad. Like I wanted to hit him, but it was kind of funny.
It was like random. It was so random.
It was funny, but
why did they do that?
Why?
Because I'm thinking that Morrison's going to be back eventually. I think he's taking time off. I don't think he's even going to go to TNA now. I think he might take time off and come back. Because why would they say that? Although they did mention Chris Masters, Punk did after he got released.
And Vladimir Kozlov.
And D.H. Smith.
And D.H. Smith.
Harry
so
Smith.
maybe.
Harry Smith.
Yeah.
Because the kids are probably like, John Morrison's gone? What? All his little friends with the stupid sunglasses.
All the women are going to miss his abs.
Oh, God.
Farrah Fawcett hair.
Farrah Fawcett hair. Wow. Farrah Fawcett.
But it
rest in peace.
This last segment, it was good.
It wasn't mind blowing. It was nothing
it wasn't.
great.
It wasn't mind blowing. But
if Punk wasn't in it,
it would have been boring as hell.
It would have sucked.
You're telling me it would have been better if John Cena was in there instead of him?
I'll punch you right now.
There you go. Get out of here.
Sit down, Jason. Sit down.
Bulk it up.
It was a fine segment. I mean, at least Punk was standing tall again.
Miz was okay.
Miz would have made it worse, honestly.
Oh, well, yeah.
Miz was okay. The humor between Punk and Miz going back and forth was fine.
Did you see where CM Punk was interviewed recently and he was talking about how he can't stand the Miz? Like
in real life?
Yeah, he can't stand him. He thinks his character. He thinks he's a fake person, and he didn't deserve the spot that he was given like at WrestleMania last year.
Wow. Well, CM Punk's got an issue with The Rock too for some reason.
Well, you remember when we were talking about the two guys that The Rock mentioned? Did you ever figure out who it was? Either one of you? It was CM Punk.
Bring this up now. Because a lot of people probably don't know.
Yeah, come on, stat man.
I know what he's talking about.
Well, like when The Rock in his interview with WWE Magazine was talking about how two guys was pretty much resenting him coming back and stealing their spotlight.
The Rock and Punk. Or Miz and Punk.
No, it wasn't
CM
Miz.
Punk and Randy Orton. That's who it was.
It actually was Randy has had something to say. Now Randy has kind of
he's not a big fan
now.
of The Rock. Yeah, he's starting to soften up to him now.
He's coming around, but there was a time where Orton was on a radio show and kind of pretty much said the same thing. Punk, like, this guy hasn't been here for how long, and he comes back, and all of a sudden...
He keeps telling us that he's back, but he's never
But here's
seen
my
again.
thing. I'm on the Rock side. I like Randy, and I like CM Punk, but I am on the Rock side here. The Rock is getting paid millions and millions of dollars to go make good, bad, indifferent, whatever, Disney movies, or whatever.
He's doing action movies now.
He's doing movies that WWE can never make. Yes. G.I. Joe, Fast 6 probably coming out.
Yeah.
You know? He's making relevant movies. What movies are WWE making? Knucklehead. The Marine 2.
The reunion, which looks stupid as hell.
You can't hate on The Rock for doing that. The Rock doesn't need the money. Why do you think he came back? To entertain the fans.
Millions.
And millions of Rock's fans.
We're going to do that every time
somebody
says millions.
See, you know what I'm saying, though? I think, honestly, it sounds like jealousy to me.
It does.
Well, I don't see how you couldn't be a little jealous. He's coming back and stealing your spotlight. He's getting the biggest ovation. He hasn't been there in 7 years.
I think that's why they're keeping him off TV, too.
Yeah.
Well, number one, he's got his movie scheduled to go. Mm-hmm. And number two, if he's on TV constantly, it's going to take the spotlight away from a lot of guys.
I got news for you. That guy, he's been off how long now?
And he still has it.
He still has it. That dude can deliver a promo in his sleep.
It's like he has been wrestling these past 7 years.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody hated on him. But when he went out there and whooped ass at Survivor Series and delivered another good promo that was Raw before in Boston, and he's better in the ring, not to mention promo-wise, than all your other wrestlers. Hey, Randy and Punk shouldn't be mad at The Rock. They should be mad at Vince for bringing in these jabronis.
They should be mad at themselves.
Yeah.
They can't compete and they can't perform at the same level that he is.
Don't be booing me. You should be booing yourself.
All right, thank you, John.
How often do you think they're going to have The Rock on TV once they get rolling around WrestleMania? Is it going to be every week, every other 2 weeks?
I think maybe at the Rumble. Maybe at the Rumble.
Possibly.
Other than that, I mean, they got to start this up. The whole month of February and March, Rock's got to start going.
You know, having him as one of the surprise entrants in the Rumble would be great because the Rumble marks the start to the road to WrestleMania.
I agree.
And the road to WrestleMania is ending with Cena and The Rock.
Yep.
Let's start it with Cena and The Rock.
Yep. I think so. Surprise entrant throws Cena's candy ass out the
I could honestly see, his music hits, he comes running down, he goes straight after Cena, they brawl for a couple minutes. They go, faking, throwing each other out, and then The Rock gets the upper hand, throws him out, and I could just see The Rock just jumping out himself, just because he doesn't need the title shot.
No. I think, and honestly, think, like you said, CM Punk or Randy Orton's starting to come around thinking, okay, maybe Rock is really doing this for the fans. I think CM Punk will eventually, hopefully, realize
he just doesn't
that.
like it because his spot that he feels that he's deserved.
Which he does.
He's feeling threatened.
Yeah. He does.
Which, honestly, you do that in any company, any business, and you're going to feel threatened.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If we're doing this show and the Howard Stern comes in and goes, let me show you kids how it's done.
Yeah, I'm going to...
WNBC.
Okay, I just laughed my ass off at that.
We'd be mad, too.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to wrap this show up anyway. Yeah. So thoughts about next week's Raw. What are you looking at?
They didn't really say much about it.
Well, they booked a match for next week. The Slammies. 3-hour Raw.
I'll mark this down. This is going to be one of the worst Raws of the year.
3-hour shows aren't good. Michael Cole's got his 2 Slammies sitting in front of him now.
I'm going to bitch slap Michael Cole so hard if he wins another.
It's John Cena versus Mark Henry. That's the only match so far.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, boy.
Hey, another match for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe if he wins, maybe he'll get thrown into the title shot, like how...
You okay?
Yeah, that was
I don't know.
The Kool-Aid reference was really good there.
Which is weird because the kids are drinking John Cena's Kool-Aid.
Imagine that.
I like to see Ryder and Ziggler kind of have a face-to-face promo. Maybe I don't know.
That would be nice. Speaking of that, did you see the backstage segment with him and Swagger?
Yes.
Where Ziggler's being all serious and he's like, "No, I don't need you out there," and then they start laughing and Swagger's like, "So I'll see you at a ringside." Nope, and just walks away. Nope. He's laughing. Nope.
Yeah.
Deadpan.
I like how Ziggler's
Yep.
mentioning how he doesn't need Vicky now. Like when he's talking. He mentions
and my buddy brought it up. They took out all references to the word perfection in his music. Maybe playing down the egotistical side of him.
Did they really?
Yeah. It's now replaced by the whole I'm here to show the world. He's showing off. And I think he's coming to the realization he doesn't need Vicky to do that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Did you see?
I didn't even notice that.
Did you guys catch out in the ring during the match with Sheamus? I don't know what he did, but he went around Sheamus and he said, "I am that damn good."
Yeah, he was showing off like he had
it was
the
pretty
whole.
funny. He's entertaining.
Yeah, he is. He's a good. He's awesome. He's my bar buddy too.
All in all, what would you guys give it?
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Oh, maybe a 2.5. 3.
That's what I'd say.
I wouldn't say a 3. I'd say a 2.5 at the most. It wasn't good.
Yep.
Next week, like Wes said, 3-hour Raws, number 1, are bad. Number 2, it's the Slammies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The Slammies haven't been good since 97.
Nope.
They really haven't. So, I mean, who's going to be Superstar of the Year? What do you? Let's say that.
Well,
right now.
is it a fan voted thing?
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly,
it's CM Punk, John Cena,
Randy Orton.
CM Punk, Diva of the Year is going to be Kelly.
Oh God, probably.
Oh my God, moment is probably going to be The Rock and Cena at Survivor Series
or WrestleMania, maybe.
Yeah,
The Rock doing that. Maybe he'll accept his landing via satellite.
Yeah, he might. I think it's going to be if CM Punk.
Hey, they do that with the Oscars if the person can't be there. I don't want to hear any complaining about that.
Superstar of the Year is going to be either CM Punk or The Miz. The Miz.
It ain't going to be.
Have they already announced all these?
He had a good year though. It should be Punk. But it definitely should be Punk.
If it's fan voted, they're not going to put it.
If it's fan voted,
it's going to be Cena.
No.
Well, all those little kids.
There was I got on the WWE chat last night just real quick, and they have, like they have these little tickers where it shows like random questions.
Yeah.
One of the questions was, how do you feel about John Cena? And it said like, what do you chant when you're at a WWE show? It said Cena sucks or let's go Cena, and it was 70% let's go Cena on the live chat.
Well, what do you think? Who do you think's
in
that room?
It's all kids. I know.
Right.
I was like, wow.
So we'll go out to
the kids that are sitting there thinking that they're actually going to get to talk to Cena via text.
Right.
I could jump in there and say, "Hi, I'm John Cena," and they lose their fudge.
Let's go out to Sheamus this week. We haven't used his music yet. There you go. That's a shameful thing. So, yeah, this Raw. I want to come next week as Wes does his best Sheamus impression.
Nerds!
You're not white enough over there. Look, next week I want to come in and do a show, number 1, where we're half awake. And number two,
we all need to get some sleep.
Yeah, and number 2, make it a damn good Raw next week. Can we finally come in here for an hour and talk about a good Raw?
Can we have something positive to say?
Jeez, oh man.
I feel like we come in here every week and just
bash it.
Bitch, bitch, bitch. That's all we do.
Well, maybe next week we'll have a good Raw. I'm not holding my breath.
Fingers crossed. We need something new.
Isn't this
here,
next week's the go home show, right? The TLC.
Yep.
Well, it better be good. It won't be. All right.
No.
So for Jason, Murphy, I got a beer. Thank you, Murphy. And for our funk guy, the one, the only, the guy that has all the stats.
How you doing?
And gets all the ass. Wes.
Funk man.
Birded.
I don't know about that, but.
And the guy that likes to drink beer, go home right now, raise hell. Stone Cold. Troy Austin.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very nice on the bottle cap. I am out of here. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
We will see you next week.
Follow us on Twitter.
Outside the ring.
And
that is the cheesiest sign-off ever.
That's right. That's right. And our email, one time, Troy Austin.
Outside the ring 316 @gmail.com.
We'll see you outside the ring next week. Later.
Deuces.